Fans of the Penelope and Colin dynamic are ready for a wide range of emotions as Season 3 of Bridgerton approaches. After all, the upcoming season of Netflix's hit Regency series revolves around the couple, also known as Colin, being married following a minimum of 2 years in which Colin has been blissfully unaware of his lifelong friend's affection for him. But things won't be so simple for him with fresh suitors on the horizon. However, it's a fact that we are all aware of our loyalties. After everything that occurred in Season 2, fans are eager to see Penelope and Colin together. Penelope was devastated at the end of Bridgerton's last tenure because she had heard Colin criticize her. And that's not all. When Eloise discovered that she is the enigmatic Lady Whistledown, everyone's favorite gossip writer also lost her best friend. All of this takes place against the backdrop of Anthony Bridgerton and Kate Sharma's romantic tale in the books. Don't worry if you need a reminder of the events from Bridgerton Season 2. We've got you covered. Not one, but 2 Bridgerton siblings enter the marriage market at the beginning of Season 2 of Bridgerton. None of them, though, seem especially enthusiastic about finding a lasting companion. Although, to be honest, he isn't trying that hard. Anthony is only behaving out of obligation, looking to fulfill his responsibilities as Viscount and head of the household, while the rebellious Eloise is almost being forced into the Ton's ballrooms by her mother. Anthony is fortunate to have a high enough social standing to ensure that everyone, including their mother, is still eager to marry him despite his reputation as a rake and his truly repulsive behavior toward the women he should be wooing. However, when Lord Bridgerton meets the Sharma women, things become much more difficult for him. The scandal that the Ton and Queen Charlotte still can't seem to get over follows recently arrived Lady Mary and her daughters, Kate and Edwina. Years earlier, Mary eloped from London with a common clerk, bringing shame upon her family. Edwina's parents, the Sheffields, have now consented to cover the cost of her dowry, but only if she marries a nobleman. However, Edwina is unaware of this illness because, on the outside, her mother and sister merely want Edwina to be able to discover true love. Anthony can help with this now. The youngest Sharma is so charming that Lord Bridgerton chooses to marry her after they first meet at a ball. There are just 2 somewhat significant issues. The first is that Kate doesn't want Anthony anywhere near her sister, because she's heard all of his misogynistic views about women in society. Despite their best efforts to suppress it, Kate and Anthony are genuinely quite attracted to one another, which presents the second issue. It's evident from the beginning of Anthony's courting of Edwina that he is more alike with her sister than he is with her. Furthermore, he doesn't hesitate to acknowledge, to himself at least, that he is not in love with Edwina. In reality, Lord Bridgerton has sworn never to marry for love after seeing the pain his mother endured following the loss of his father. In light of this, he asks Edwina to marry him, and she says yes. Given that Edwina has been named the season's diamond, the Queen herself has a stake in this game. That, and well, she wants to use the entire thing as a setup to figure out who Lady Whistledown is, but we'll leave that for another time. But when Edwina sees Anthony and Kate sharing glances at the altar, she bolts her mind full of questions. She ultimately makes the decision to put off the wedding, but she isn't entirely relieved that her future husband and sister are genuinely in love. Propriety demands that Anthony and Kate maintain their affair a secret, even though they can no longer control their emotions and give in to their cravings whenever the chance arises. When Kate falls from a horse and goes into a profound coma, everything changes. Edwina finds it in herself to forgive, even if she fears for her sister's life. Additionally, Kate and Anthony decide to tie the knot after she awakens. Yes, she is first reluctant, due to her sister, and the fact that Lord Bridgerton did not bother to see her while she was asleep. But our primary pairing deserves a happy ending. The Queen fabricates a story about having called off Edwina's wedding after realizing how much Anthony and Kate love each other, and everyone is thrilled for the happy couple. Regarding Edwina, it's possible that Queen Charlotte could present her to a few princes. However, Anthony is just one little part of the Bridgerton family's dealings. To begin with, Benedict dedicates an entire Season 2 arc to learning that Anthony's influence was the sole reason he was accepted as an art student at the Royal Academy. Then there's Colin, who recently returned from a European tour with the sole purpose of breaking Penelope Featherington's heart. This is the story that counts most because, although Benedict, Anthony, and Kate will undoubtedly make an appearance, Penelope and Colin's romance will take center stage in Season 3 of Bridgerton. Even though Penelope has been feeling something for Colin since Season 1, this romance isn't made clear in Season 2. Despite his deep affection for Penelope, Colin views her only as a friend and appears to still be fixated on Marina. The Featherington cousin, he came dangerously close to marrying during the first season of the show. For long there, it appeared as though Colin's main interaction with the Featheringtons this season would be through nearly falling for Lady Portia Featherington and her cousin Jack. Following Lord Featherington's death in Season 1, Jack reappears as a wealthy relative with ruby mines in the Americas. After initially being seen by Portia as a danger, someone who would take away her and her daughter's already meager wealth, Jack quickly develops a professional and amorous relationship with the Featherington matriarch. They devise a scheme to fool affluent lords into investing in fictitious American mines in between strange kisses. Since all of the genuine mines that Jack formerly owned have vanished, you see. Like all the other Featheringtons in town, Jack is completely broke. It appears for a time that Colin is going to fall for Portia and Jack's trick. But after learning the truth, he confronts Jack. Colin is unaware that Portia is complicit in the scheme, so she pretends to be the tricked widow and orders Jack to leave for the Americas. Penelope, meantime, is ecstatic when Colin assures her that he will always be there for her. Her joy, however, is short-lived as she hears Colin informing his buddies that he would never consider pursuing her a few minutes later. In Season 2 of Bridgerton, Colin isn't the first Bridgerton to break Penelope's heart. The poor girl's bond with her best friend Eloise is likewise damaged. But this time we have to acknowledge Penelope is solely to blame. Now that they are in the marriage market, Eloise is persistently bugging Penelope to spend the balls with her while evading all potential suitors. This is making it difficult for the covert Lady Whistledown to get the juicy rumors she needs to keep her business afloat. And it doesn't help that Eloise is determined to uncover the identity of the enigmatic writer. To make matters worse, the Queen is now searching for Whistledown, and in an attempt to bring her out of hiding, she has even started spreading false tales at gatherings like at Winna's wedding. However, Eloise has advanced far more than Queen Charlotte. She even knows where Lady Whistledown gets her papers printed. She eventually becomes interested in a young man she meets at the shop. The issue lies in the fact that he is actually Theo Sharp, an apprentice printer, and not a nobleman. Being a staunch feminist, he extends an invitation to Eloise to attend meetings concerning women's rights and demonstrates his ability to intellectually challenge her. Unfortunately, Eloise and Theo's relationship is like a stone in Penelope's shoe. In addition to bringing Eloise one step closer to discovering Lady Whistledown's identity, it jeopardizes her friend's standing. Ultimately, it was the scandal of eloping with a commoner that caused Lady Mary Sharma to be shunned by society. Penelope realizes that action is required when she finds out that the Queen thinks Eloise is Lady Whistledown because of all the stories she has heard about her trips to the printers. To deflect the Queen's attention and drive her friend away from Theo, Penelope fabricates a story about Eloise's association with political extremists. This practically indicates complete shame for the Bridgerton family. Thus, tensions rise when Eloise solves the puzzle and searches through Penelope's belongings for evidence that she is, in fact, Lady Whistledown. Eloise, understandably furious, informs her friend that she doesn't want to see her ever again. And this is where our daughters are left, distraught and entirely alone in Season 2. It will now be up to Season 3 to reconcile them. There are others who argue that this holds equal significance to reconciling Penelope and Colin.